Hello everyone. Welcome back to a new video. So today I really want to use this video as an opportunity to begin a new chapter in my channel. I want to branch out. I want to start making more personal videos, talk about myself rather than just make some boring video of me playing a video game for an hour. I want to start doing commentary, provoke my thoughts, opinions on things such as TV shows, movies, sports, video games, tell stories of my past, talk about things in the world that I want to talk about, give my opinion on, think that I have a valuable opinion on. And I really, really want to start this new chapter in my channel. I think it'll be great for the growth of my channel. I think it'll make me more entertaining. I was mainly inspired this by watching Moist Critical's videos. All his funny ass stories about him being scared to masturbate because of a rock band, and videos like reacting to polar bear documentaries and shit like that. It's so fun. Like, he just makes the most random videos ever, and it's so good every time. Like, it's so fun to watch, and it made me really want to get into this. But anyways, to the point of the video, today I want to talk about a show I watched called Gen V. It is a spin-off of a show I really like called The Boys. If you haven't watched The Boys, I very recommend you watch it. It's basically about a group of guys called The Boys, a group of 5 guys led by a man named Billy Butcher. He's a great character. Like, he's just a funny person. And he's very entertaining. And they're going up against this group called the Seven, who are part of this company called Vought, which is a pharmaceutical company which creates this thing called Compound V, or a substance called Compound V. I should be more specific than saying a thing. It's a substance that people inject. Usually parents do it into their babies, and it gives them superpowers when they grow up eventually. Usually around like teenage years, I guess. I don't know when they receive the powers. But this backfires. A lot of these superheroes are presented by the media as, being great guys, saving America. Not just guys, great people, saving America, upstanding citizens, just wonderful people. They saved us all the time. But in reality, we're shown the behind the scenes on that show, and it turns out people aren't as great as we thought they were. Namely, Homelander, the main character, is a complete douchebag, but I love him for it. It makes him such a great character. He just does what he wants. He has no regard for human life. He is just fucking wild. He is nuts. He'll just have a complete breakdown. He'll just do the most out of pocket things. Anthony Starr is the guy who plays him. Tony Starr, I guess you call him, whatever. He is such a good actor. That guy is so intimidating. You watch him in an interview, and all you can see is Homelander. Like, every time you see Homelander, you have no idea what he's gonna do, but you know he's gonna do the fucking worst thing he can do. Like, what you think is the worst thing he'll do, he will one-up that shit and do something 10 times worse. That is who Homelander is. But anyways, the Boys against the Seven, this group of superheroes. Some of the superheroes are bad, some are okay, some are actually good. And, yeah, that's how it is, basically. That sums it up. There's more deep plot points, but I don't want to get too much into that because I'm talking about Gen V today. When it's the 3rd season of The Boys finished. Season 4 is coming out soon, so if you want to catch up on that before Season 4 comes out, I'd highly recommend it. So Gen V. So Season 1 of Gen V just came out this year. The final episode came out Thursday night, November the 2nd. Or the 3rd, sorry. Or, yeah, no, the 2nd. And this show is basically a spin-off of it, like I said, about college kids who go to this university called Goldoken University, and they at first it appears they're going to study how to become like a superhero, part of the Seven. But it turns out this university is just using them to research them so they can take advantage of them and all this. They just have evil intentions, as expected. What else would you expect from Vought, right? So at the start of the series, the main character is this girl named Marie, and when she was young, before she knew she had superpowers, she was having her first period, and her superpowers involved blood. And you can imagine, no pun intended, it was a bloody mess. All it was. Her parents slaughtered. They literally slaughtered, like a slaughterhouse. And her sister was traumatized by it, and she was put in this place, I guess an orphanage kind of for superheroes, for soups. And her character starts off, she gets into this university finally, and she meets a group of people, Andre, Luke, Emma, or Emma's not part of the group, but that Emma's her roommate, and she meets a group of friends named Andre, Luke, Jordan, and Kate. And these are kind of, at first you're kind of suspicious of these people. You're like, are they bad? Are they good? That's how I felt when I watched it. And their main guy like is this guy named Luke. His superhero name is Golden Boy, and he's presented kind of, you wonder, like he seems like a very nice kid when he's at this party and he's talking to Marie, but then at the end of the episode he just goes on the first episode, he goes on an absolute fucking rampage. And I'm like, oh my god, like I had suspicions that this guy was just another Homelander, and actually I turned out to be wrong about him. I'll get into that later. But when I analyze his character, I'm first just talking about the plot. So he finds out that this place in the same university called the Woods. It's basically an underground dungeon, and they keep these soups who they deem mentally unstable, and they hide them in these cells and just lock them. No interaction, just by themselves, and they go absolutely ballistic from these guys are completely mentally unstable. They become mentally unstable. You wonder if it's because of that, but let me just get a drink of water real quick. But anyways, Luke thought for all this time he had a younger brother who was dead, and this younger brother turns out he's not dead, and Luke somehow finds this out just by him and his younger brother kind of communicate with each other through their own minds in a way. It's shown multiple times throughout the series. It's pretty different. It's interesting though. And Luke finds this out. He goes on a rampage, and you at first you think like this guy's completely nuts. He's just out of control. He's just like another Homelander. And he kills Brink, who is the guy running the university. He was kind of his mentor at first. He told him he was going to get him into the 7, and then Golden Boy killed him because he was hiding his brother under this thing, and he realized he was a bad guy. And then he gets in this fight with Jordan, who was originally his friend, but Jordan loved Brink for some reason. Like, it was like his mentor. And then he sees Marie was in the room when he killed Brink, and he wants to kill her because she's a witness, and he feels bad about it, but he's still going on this absolute rampage. And that's when Jordan tried to stop him, and Marie ran outside. Andre tries to stop Luke, talks to him. Luke looks like he makes you think he's about to kill him because he's at full power, and he's like, I'm sorry, man. And he goes in. I thought he was about to completely obliterate Andre, but he just went in for a hug, told him he loved him and all that. And then he told Andre just how shit was fucked up and all this, and he couldn't believe it. And then he killed himself. Luke did. So Luke, we're like, oh fuck, I thought this guy was going to become the Homelander, like this big villain of these college kids, and he was going to wreak havoc on everyone. But he killed himself. So where is this story going? Who is the villain going to be? And we're introduced to these characters named Shetty and Dr. Cardosa. Shetty is kind of this woman running this woods place underground, and she is basically studying these people. And the reason she hates these superheroes is because her husband and daughter were killed in a plane crash, and she blames Homelander for it. It's in an episode of The Boys. You can look it up. The clip is pretty famous. But anyway, she hates them. She resents them for this. She wants revenge. So she runs this place. She thinks all soups are bad. Kind of the mentality that one of these people did it to me, so all of them are bad mentality. So she wants revenge. She puts these people in this woods place, and she hires this guy, Dr. Cardosa, to work on this disease, this virus that only affects soups, and it kills them. And it's successful. He actually infects a couple of them, and they just look awful. Their face is completely torn apart. Like it's just awful what they have to go through because of this. And at some point in the story, Andre and Kate catch on to the fact that Luke's brother Sam is not dead like Luke thought, and he's hiding under this thing, and they go to save him. And they get Emma to do it because Emma has her superpower is she can shrink herself or become really big. She has to throw up to become really small and eat a lot to become really big. So she saves Luke from this place. She talks to him. She gets to know him. They actually form a connection. They eventually get involved sexually, romantically, but Sam, once they escape, they find out that he's very, very mentally unstable. Like, the guy, at one moment, very wholesome, nice kid, you feel bad for him, and the next moment it's like, I don't care who you are, I'm throwing you into a wall. His friends will try to stop him from doing something bad, he'll throw them into a wall. Like, he's very, 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 very unpredictable. He's a loose cannon, you don't know what to do with him. Like Mike described Walt, he's a loose cannon. That's where I got that term from. That popped into my head. Anyways, we learn he's a little crazy, and he wants to kill Dr. Cardosa because of this thing I mentioned. And he goes there, and it turns out, well, no, I don't know why I say it turns out. So he goes there, tries to kill him, and his friends try to stop him. He goes on a complete rampage, throws them everywhere. And then Emma makes herself really big and tries to stop him, and she does, but then suddenly the screen fades to black, and they all wake up at this random house party like 3 days later, and they can't remember a thing. And they start to get suspicious. There was this one kid who could get himself into other people's minds. He was like a psychic power thing, and they thought originally he did it, but it turns out no. You know who it was? Kate, Luke's girlfriend, ex-girlfriend before he died, was the one. She was working for Shetty and Cardosa this whole time, trying to control her friends to make sure they didn't find out about this. And once they found out, she was screwed, and they knew it. They started to catch on to her. They realized, and then she started feeling remorseful about this. Andre was completely heartbroken because he started dating her. He realized that she was manipulating him and all that, and what she did to Luke was just awful, that she was working with these people. She tries to convince them that she's not bad. She's good. And what she does, she starts to go a little crazy. And she convinces Shetty, who actually took Kate in for adoption when she was young because her parents were afraid of her. Because she made her brother run away and never come back with her mind control. But I'll get more into that. Like, she basically has mind control power. She touches you, and she can manipulate you into doing anything. She can make you eat your own hand. She can make you listen to anything she says, tell her everything about something. So she turns out that she is very dangerous. She has mind control. She can read your mind. She can manipulate you into anything. And they become scared of her. They don't trust her anymore. She goes on a rampage. She goes to Shetty's house, who, like I said, was her adopted mother. She took her in. Kind of adopted mother. She basically was a mother figure to her. And she turned on her and made her reveal everything to them to gain their trust back, and made her slit her own throat with a knife. And Sam likes it. Everyone else is kind of devastated by it. And then the final episode rolls around. Sam and Kate go into the woods to free all these people. And then suddenly, she tells them that regular people are bad, and this is a thing that happened in the last episode too. Sam went to this conference led by Victoria Newman, and everyone in the crowd was getting all mad at her because she's kind of against soups and her thing, even though she literally is a soup herself. And they're all saying, like, we're superior, humans control us, all this stuff. Like, he's on this kind of like anti-agenda because he saw one rally. And they're telling these people that they freed, because they're completely mentally unstable now, just like Sam is, that humans are bad and they gotta get revenge on them. So these people are going around campus killing innocent people. She killed like this marketing professor. I was like, what the fuck is going on? But after all this, this happens. Marie gets a call, Jordan gets a call, Andre gets a call. They all are told to like help at campus and stop these people. And in the end, Andre is fighting Sam, and he grabs Andre grabs a thing from the security guard, a taser, and tases Sam while Sam is choking Andre out, and they both pass out simultaneously. And Marie blows up Kate's arm, so she only has one arm left, and like she stops her from a minute because she was about to do something to Jordan. So she stops her, And guess who arrives? None other than Homelander. And boy, I was watching this because I remember Ashley in the episode was saying, you know, we gotta call Homelander, call Homelander. Oh, I gotta grab a drink of water. Call Homelander. We need to stop him. We need to stop these people. And I was like, oh, I need Homelander to come. He's gonna stop Kate. Am I stupid? Did I really think after 3 seasons of The Boys that Homelander was not going to do the worst possible thing he could have done in that situation? Of course he was. He goes up to Marie and says, "What kind of animal are you? Do you enjoy attacking your own kind?" And he lasers her. And at the end of it, there's this news thing on the TV. Talks about, it shows Emma, Andre, Jordan, and Marie, and says they're all evil animals, they're villains, they're all this, they're all that, they're evil. And Homelander's watching it with a grin on his face, knowing that guy knows he fucked shit up. He knows. He has that little grin on his face, like, yeah, I know what I did. I know it was fucked up. I know these people I saved are actually bad. They're just like me, but I know what I did. I'm glad what I did. I'm proud of it. That's just who Homelander is. And Marie, Andre, Jordan, and Emma are locked up in this dungeon with no doors. And I don't know if it's at the Vought building or at the university. That's actually a good thing to look into. Like that'll be revealed in season 2. But anyways, that's basically how it ended. This big fight erupts, and the good guys look like the bad guys in the end because of none other than Homelander. Who would have thought, right? And the news labels Kate and Sam as heroes, even though they are the most mentally unstable and crazy out of all of them. So, anyways, that's how it ended. And then there's a Billy Butcher kind of cliffhanger where he's searching through the woods, and he says, "Oh, what a bunch of..." I don't know what he said, but some classic Butcher line. So, next I'm gonna get into what I think of each character on that show, like the main characters. And oh yeah, sorry, one thing I forgot to mention. When Shetty slit her own throat because of Kate, another thing that happened was Dr. Cardosa, what's her name? Victoria Newman popped his head because he was the only one that can make that soup virus, so she wanted that gone. Because she's secretly a soup, even though she portrays herself in the media as a, anti-soup and this. She didn't want that out there. She's working undercover. So, Cardosa and Shetty both got killed in the same episode. So, now who are the bad guys going to be? It's going to be Kate. It's going to be Sam. It's branching outside of the university, probably now into Vought going into season 2, like the actual headquarters. Stan Edgar, Ashley, all that. They're going to be bad. So, now, finally, let's get into each character. And if I'm missing any plot points, I'll just mention it in the pinned comment. So, we're going to talk about Marie first. I think she's a good character. She's kind of a stereotypical, like, hero, goody two-shoes, nice girl, wants to be a hero, wants her sister to love her again, and all this and that. But overall, I think she's nice. I think she has good morals. I think her powers got a lot of potential. That's going to be something to talk about. But she's, a good person. I really hope everyone wants to see her reunited with her sister again. We never saw that in season 1. That's going to be something they do later on, obviously. Maybe in like the 3rd or 4th season, depending on how long that show goes for. But, good character. Her powers are going to be something because Victoria Newman went up to her and said, we have the same powers. Like, she cut her hand. She had the exact same thing. And she popped Kate's arm. She blew up that mind reader guy's penis. I can't remember his fucking name, but he's a fucking weirdo. She blew up his dick. That's not a metaphor for something sexual. She literally blew up his dick with her mind, with her powers, and she blew up Kate's arm. So she's starting to gain grasp on how powerful she really is. And Shetty even said it, like she doesn't know how powerful she is, but God, is she powerful. But anyways, that's Marie. I think she's a good main character. A little bland in some ways in the fact that, and obviously, she made that mistake in the past. I don't know if I'd say bland, but I wish I like my main characters in my shows like to have flaws. Like I don't like them being like portrayed as like perfect and can never do anything wrong, and you're just on their side. They're just amazing. Like I like seeing bad sides to them, in not like an evil way, but in a like they've, they. I guess her killing her parents, but that's more of a. I don't see that as her bad because her parents were the one that injected her with that stuff, and she didn't mean to do that. Like that obviously haunts her, but she gets portrayed for way worse than she is for doing that. I don't know. Like we see in other shows, for example, like Homelander. No, Homeland. No, that's not a good example at all. I'm trying to think of a good example. Like Saul Goodman in Better Call Saul. Like at first, at the start of the show, you kind of feel bad for the guy. His brother's a bit of a dick. Jimmy McGill, I guess I should say, not Saul Goodman. His brother's a bit of a dick. He's taking advantage of him, or not taking. He's jealous of him and this and that, and we feel bad for Jimmy. And then as the show goes on, we see like this. He's a flawed guy. Like he's making mistakes. Like maybe we'll see it later on, but right now Marie is just too perfect. I guess you need a few goody two shoes here and there in life, just like a Lisa Simpson. Anyways, let's go on to Emma. So her character, I think she's definitely has a lot more personality than some of the other main characters. I felt bad, like she's kind of like a sympathy thing. Like you feel kind of bad for her. She has this thing. She has to puke just to go small. She does it, and she doesn't even really want people to know about it. She goes through a lot for what she does, and she's a good character. She's gets kind of treated like shit by a lot of people, like that one girl who exposed everything about her, that gossip girl. But yeah, she's I don't know. I think she's a pretty good character. Her relationship with Sam was kind of interesting, I guess, to say the least. But yeah, that's what I think about her. Let me continue a little more so I don't regret not saying something. So yeah, her power is interesting. Feel bad. Is there anything else I have to say? Things that happen in her relationship with Sam. She gets wronged by a lot of people. I think she'll just continue to be a good, likable character. That's what I think we'll see from her to come. Marie, like I said, I think her powers are going to really develop a lot. But yeah. Luke is the next character I'm going to talk about. I feel bad for Luke. He is just manipulated by Kate this whole time, his whole life. He was a good guy. He wanted good intentions. He thought Brink was doing good things for him. He thought Vought was good. He loved his brother. He was tricked into thinking he was dead, and he killed himself right when he found out he was alive because of all the guilt he felt, and it was too much for him to handle. He didn't want to live in this world with all this. The world was too fucked up for him, and he killed himself. He's a great character. I think it was great because I think the creators knew that when we saw him, we were going to think that even when he went on that rampage at the end of the episode, we thought he was going to be the bad guy. We thought he was going to be another Homelander. Fuck. I just choked on my own fucking spit. Sorry. I got so worked up about how they portrayed him that I just got so mad and I just started choking on my spit. No, but for real. We thought he was going to be bad, but he wasn't. He was a good guy. For the most part, a little flawed, but he had a good heart. He cared about his brother. He cared about his friends. He cared about Brink originally because he thought he was doing good things for him, and it turns out he was just being manipulated, used, and all that. And I loved how they've done a real switch in antagonists in this show. Like it was a really big. Kate becoming the antagonist was so unexpected. And I thought it was going to be Luke at first. I'm sure a lot of you did too. Maybe I think kind of bland, but anyways, yeah, Luke, tragic character, even though we only knew him really for one episode and outside of a few like cameo appearances, but yeah. Next I'm going to talk about Sam, his younger brother. Now, Sam, I don't know. I think his character is almost a little too unrealistically mentally unstable. I know it sounds kind of fucked up to say, but like, it's just so he's almost too dumb. Like the kid, like in that episode where he goes to that event for Victoria Newman, where they say about how like the soups are superior and all that. At first, he didn't really have an opinion, and then he goes to this one rally and he develops this big opinion, and he's going, and then when Shetty got killed, he's like, justice, or whatever the fuck he said. It was some dumbass shit. But he's so easily influenced. He's not smart. He goes on a rampage 5 seconds after like being like this guy you feel sympathy for. He was locked up. Obviously, you do feel bad about that, but he also is an idiot at the same time, in my opinion. Like, he's talking to people in his own head. He's just crazy. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about his character. He's just a little over the top for me. I think they need to write his character to be a little more human, even though he's technically not human, but I think they exaggerated him a little bit. And I think, I don't know, like, he's just so easily influenced. It pisses me off. It actually pisses me off. That scene where he's like, no, now he's like anti-soup and he doesn't care about Emma anymore and he says you only care about yourself and all that, which is, I don't think that's true at all. And I think she genuinely cared about him. She loved him. And he just went rampage mode because he went to one rally and suddenly he hates humans and he thinks all of them are bad. I mean, I'm honest. I'm going to use the word. He is stupid. That is the word I'm going to use. He's stupid. I think his character needs a lot of development before he becomes a good character. I think he's a little over the top in everything. They exaggerate his stupidity. They exaggerate how mentally ill he needs to be. They exaggerate just too much about him. I think he's a little over the top of a character. Next, I'm going to talk about Kate. I think as an antagonist, she's a little better than Sam. I think later on Sam won't be an antagonist. I think he'll come to his senses, but it seems every moment Sam comes to his senses, he just goes back on a rampage. Like, he's never just... You can never get that kid to sit. It's like a kid you can't get to sit still. You know what I mean? Like, that one kid in school you went to school with, and you just knew he was going to do some fuck shit at every moment, like, possible. Like, you could only get him to act good for, like, a little bit, and then you just knew that kid was going to do some stupid-ass shit. He's like that kid. But Kate is a little more... Her character is a little more of a character. She's a little more well-written, in my opinion, from going from a friend of these guys to suddenly, oh, she's been working with these people, but oh, she feels bad about it, and then in the last couple episodes she just goes on an absolute rampage. She goes crazy. The one thing I didn't like was how she got Shetty to kill herself to get her friends back on her side, and then all of a sudden she doesn't care about them in the next episode when Marie says, oh, I didn't want to kill you and this and that, and she says, oh, what was it going to change, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, and Andre said, hey, Kay, I want to work this out with you, and blah, 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 blah. And then she orders Sam to attack him as she was just trying to convince him that he was good, and like she wanted to gain their trust back, and then she suddenly hates them. The rampage she went on didn't really make sense to me. It was kind of random, and it was a little out of character, in my opinion. But I guess if they really want to portray her as this psychopath bitch who we all thought was going to be a good person, who turned out to be just a backstabber and just you can't trust her. So a little better than Sam in that way. I still think there was a little bit of a hole, not plot hole, but a character hole in that sense, how she just switched up that fast. I think they rushed it a little too much with both the villains. I think they should have started her downfall as a character earlier on. I think it was in like episode 5 they kind of started it. But yeah. And then, so that's my thoughts on her. She's a little better than Sam, but I think they rushed her development a little much. I think it needed to progress a little more. Andre, I think Andre is a good character. He's a good guy. I have a bad feeling that he's gonna go down like a Jesse Pinkman route, where like everything that goes good for him just goes wrong later. Like, you know, Luke, he had a good friend group. He accidentally kills this person at the club. He almost did. Murray saved that person. Correct myself. and I don't know, you do feel sympathy for the guy, and like his dad was lying to him his whole life. He was using him. He injected him with Compound V. He was kind of just like a sheep for Vought, and like all the Kate betrayed him, Luke died, all that. Like he's had already 3 major things go wrong in his life already, and you just hope everything goes well for him. He is a good character, good guy. I think him and Marie are pretty similar in a personality way where they both have good morals. I think I called Marie bland, and I kind of feel bad about that now because not bad, but I kind of am double thinking about that because I guess the thing about her killing her parents and wanting to get to know her sister was kind of her thing, but I don't know. Maybe there'll be more room for growth in later seasons. But Andre, yeah, I think is a good character. Next, and then final character, I guess I'm gonna really talk about because I already talked about Shetty and Cardosa and Brink and all that. Is Jordan. Jordan is probably my least favorite of like the heroes. They, I guess, the bi-gender thing's kind of odd in my opinion. Like the whole story about his dad wants to know him as a boy, but he wants to be a girl and a boy, and it's just kind of, I don't know. It wasn't that I didn't feel sympathy, like it wasn't nearly as much sympathy as you feel for Andre or for Marie or Emma as you do for that situation. And I find Jordan I guess it's part of the character, but Jordan takes himself too seriously. Like that character is almost always serious. Like just I don't know. And at the very start, appeared very selfish with Marie about like wanting credit for everything, and that like I guess you did deserve credit, but like I don't know, seemed more in it for himself than for anyone else. And I don't know. I just wish he had a little more character to him. But I think he could end up being better later on for sure. And yeah, that's about it for characters. Final thing I'm going to talk about after that is just where I think the show will go next season and how it will translate to The Boys. So The Boys, I don't think it'll translate much to The Boys. I think just like The Boys has been in this, just a cameo appearance, like a character appears in each episode. I doubt Andre, Emma, Marie, or Jordan will appear in any of those episodes, if I'm being honest, of The Boys. Just because they're locked in that dungeon, and it would just be a kind of a plot hole in Gen V if they started off season 2 and suddenly they're out of this dungeon that they were in to start the season, at the end of the season. So I don't think they can really continue the story much. Maybe they can have Sam or Kate appear because they're kind of viewed as heroes, so they might have something to do with Vought, but I don't think that they can do much with those. They can't do much in terms of plot development in The Boys for Gen V, if I'm being honest. So it might just be cameo appearances. That's my prediction. And then what was the last thing I was going to talk about? Oh yeah, next season. Yeah, I think Marie will really unleash her powers a little bit. I think they'll form a closer bond between the 4 of the people that are locked up right now. I think we'll see more character from them. I think I think Kate will get a little crazier and Sam will get less crazy. I think that's what I'm thinking. And I think Butcher might get involved. I think we might see Butcher in a couple episodes. So, that's what I think. Those are some predictions. Yeah. Let me know. Please feel free to speak anything you want in the comments about what I just spoke about. And yeah, have a great day, everyone. Thank you for watching.